I don't know about anybody else, but January really January this year. Okay, actually, I take that back. I think January for a lot of people this year. um, despite it being like 355 years long, I didn't accomplish everything I hoped to accomplish. It was just, it was a January. January of all Januaries. Anyway, I'm here to show you what I did accomplish, what whips I did accomplish from this video, and also what my plans are for February. Now, I'm gonna not be as like strict with myself. I had grandiose plans for January and finishing all of these whips, and I got to a few. But some of them have been around for a long time, and I feel super accomplished that I did them. If you want to see what projects I finished, started, and plan to do, stick around. It'll be fun, right? Remember that beautiful sweater from Tony from tlyc.com? Tony Lipsy Yarn Crafts? I'm struggling today. I said I was going to finish it, and I got a lot of it done, but I am on Sleeve Island, and it's not hard. I just haven't done it. So anyway, the body is completely done. I've tried it on. I love it. We have one sleeve partly done, and then I have the yarn, but then I just didn't finish it, and we still have this. In case you haven't heard of Sleeve Island is when you are working on a sweater and you're at the end, you've completed the body, everything's looking great, but then you have the sleeves. And doing two of the exact same pattern, same thing, can just, it's too much sometimes. And so you just let it sit there and sit there. And when you actually finish it, was it really as bad as you made up in your head? Absolutely not. However, this is a common problem. So yeah, I think this would be really pretty for maybe Valentine's Day, so I should finish that. Because again, body is done now. I have the ribbing at the bottom. Love it. I just need to finish that sleeve and that sleeve. It's not that hard, but here we are. So sadly, not finished, but I'm glad I worked on it at least, right? Something I did finish, and also by Tony, was this tea towel, Primrose tea towel, from Hobbii that was part of the Advent calendar in December. Now, I did cheat a little bit. I didn't do the last repeat section because if you remember from my whips, and actually not from my whips, if you remember from the Advent video for it, up here, I could not find a 3.25 hook in my stuff, and I didn't want to go buy one, so I did a 3.5, which made it bigger. So I felt this was plenty big, and I didn't want to do another repeat and make it bigger. So anyway, this still needs to be blocked, so it's a little funky, but ta-da! I actually kind of like that it starts and it ends with the same one. So I'm not mad about it. And it has this cute little thing so you can like hold up the towel, but I am super proud of this. And it made me learn that, mosaic crochet is not as scary as it sounds. Hold it back a little bit so you can see the full size. Compared to my head, it is pretty big. So having another would have been like this long, and I was like, that's just too much. This is plenty long. This cotton yarn from Hobbii is just so soft, and I kind of don't want to use this because I don't want it to get ruined, but also I made it for a purpose, so it will get used. But very, very fun, and definitely I will do something mosaic in the future because this it was really fun actually, and definitely not as scary as it looked. So another whip item that I had, oh shoot, I thought it got a little bit farther, but I totally didn't. In my defense, I had to frog it, and I mentioned I was going to frog it, and then I redid it in the same pattern, and it's just taking a little bit longer. And also, I realized that what I have is maybe not going to be long enough for the blanket I need, and I don't know where to buy this yarn because it's a couple years old, and so I'm just going to have to make do. This, woo! So I had it about like that long at the beginning of the month, and then I frogged it all, and then I sized up on the bottom so there is more give, and it's not so like wound up. But this is a super easy stitch. I'll make this a stitch of the week coming up. But it makes such a pretty fabric. And this is so interesting because this is cotton yarn, cotton acrylic, I think. 60% cotton, 40% acrylic. And it is such an interesting texture because it's made more with the cotton that isn't super soft. And then with the acrylic blend, it's not the softest thing ever. However, it will wash really well, and this would be a great for a donation blanket. So it might just end up going that way instead, and I'll make it look intentional, but I think it'll still look cool. It almost has, you can see where the yarn has, or the color has pooled. Like down here, it kind of creates this cool like gathering, and then it kind of changes into more like space in between. Isn't that funny how that happens? Did change the stitch, just the way the stitch is. We'll lean back a little bit. I'm in a different spot in my room, so I thought, you know, give you guys something else to look at. My awesome corgi painting. I did not make it. I got it at home, and it reminded me so much of Teddy. Picture reference for Teddy. It just looks so much like him. Anyway, so this is actually way like a really good like width. There we go. There's the word. But again, if I end up turning it this way, we'll see when I get to the second one. I have this much left of the first ball. It might just be a good flap length. So definitely not as big as I had hoped, because if it had been going widthwise, it would be better, but still okay. Not what I wanted, but you know, a lot of projects just don't turn out that way. I think I love the stitch for this, but it is taking a little bit of time. So I was really gung-ho on it for the first little bit, and then I haven't touched it in about a week and a half. So I just need to pull it out for something that is finished. I got it done. I'm so happy. I have had this sitting in my closet for like 2 years, and especially with a 6-weight yarn, or 5-weight, I don't remember, 5 or 6, but the bulky weight, it worked up super quick. It is really soft. This was the Big Twist Hush yarn, and I'm not doing the cool like where you fold it down. Maybe I should do that, but it is pretty wide and nice length. So this again was from Crochet with Tiffany Hansen, and it was one of her baby blanket patterns. I will put it in the description. I'll put the link for it in the description. But really cool how the waves turned out. It's a bunch of back loop only, front loop only, and you get this kind of cool like wave pattern. I like it. It actually is pretty heavy, but it is super soft. Something else I made a lot of this month were hats. Now, I don't physically have the hats to show on this video anymore, but I do have pictures of the hats. I did a donation to our normal place earlier this week, and all of these beauties went out with the piles from previous months. I did not do as many hats this month as I normally do, and I actually only did hats that were really on the knitting machine. And there's a video, you saw a huge pile of a certain color. There's a video coming out soon about that. It was a challenge I did for myself. So keep an eye out for that one. But it means that I have an empty hat basket, which I need to feel again. And I'm not mad about it. I actually made a hat today. So I'm already on my way, right? Next up is my temperature blanket. I've only gotten through January 19th. Just started on the 20th. Obviously, I'm a bit behind on that one. However, I love how this square is turning out. We had a pretty cold January, but it was like pretty much within like a 10 temperature gauge for like most of the month. So you'll see a lot more of this color happening, but I like this. Really, really cool looking. This was actually, I'm just starting our day that was only 25, which does not sound low compared to many other places, like especially in the Northeast and polar vortex areas. However, we did get down to pretty low temps at night, and taking a puppy out when it feels like -2 is pretty chilly. So January, almost done. I will finish that up, and this, again, so soft. I am very excited that that is actually happening. It gets harder when you get to the end of the month because the rows or the sides are longer, so you can't just whip it out as fast. Still, it's not huge, which is something I really, really like compared to my large version that I did 3 years ago. I remember what year I'm in. You? Okay. There was a point this month where I was just, I needed something else. I was very tired of what I was doing, and I just wanted a fluffy, bigger project that, I just didn't have to do much thinking. So I have a bunch of this fluffy yarn, Alpaca Twist, that was from Hobby Lobby, and it was on clearance. I still have tons of it over there. So I decided I was going to make this really pretty, let's show you the right side, granny square blanket. So I have one kind of completed how I'm thinking. I'm going to also do some centers in white. And right now I'm one that I like to do one completed so I know like the vision that I have, but then I just like to do all the centers. So I have a few centers done. I don't have very much. It allowed me to have my distraction that I needed and just my mindless, like, when you're having a bad day, sometimes you really don't want to pick up an intricate project. You just want something that is going to be mindless, easy, fluffy texture. This is what this was. So this was a pleasant break. And something that I'm not super in a hurry to finish, but definitely something that will be for those days that I am just not feeling like thinking. Just a few more January items, and then we will jump into what to look forward to this month. I had another day, and I actually showed off this yarn in the Michaels video. This is the color that I needed to finish the project I had. It was another day where I just wanted something mindless, but I didn't necessarily want to have to like cut, start, like you do with granny squares. So I decided to do a V-stitch, just simple V-stitch blanket, which I love because it's a very mindless, you can watch TV, you don't have to think very much as you're doing it, and it works up super quick. So I'm mostly almost, 3/4 maybe done with this, 2/3. But this is with the Caron Big Cakes, and just a really pretty V-stitch. Super, super simple, but really does its job. So pretty good size right now. I don't have too much more to go on this, but this has been such a good, I need just something to do with my hands project. And again, it's something that I don't really want to think about, and I just want to get something out. So that's what this project has been. As you can see, I clearly always have a few of those going. Another whip that I worked on a lot this month but did not finish was the Four Seasons blanket by Bella Coco Crochet. I did get past the fan section. Thank goodness. So I finished that up. I did fall one, which, oh my gosh, that looks so cool in camera. And I am almost done with, oh my goodness, don't do that. Clearly did not pull this out far enough. Starting to come undone. The winter section. All really, really cool stitches. This is what we have so far. Woo! So I actually ran out of, I had a full skein. I thought I had enough, but I ran out of this blue skein. So this is actually not the full size section that it was supposed to be. So then I made the next section a little bit shorter, and then I'll make this the same size as the one below. So I just have this section to finish, and then I'll have the border to do, and then this will be done. Last up, this still needs to be blocked. I finished this shortly after the whips video, actually. I haven't worn it yet, hence why it has not been blocked. I just need to block it so I can wear it. It is this cowl. Yay! That's like the Christmassy colors, but not like in your face Christmassy. So it has the star stitch in it. I love how this turned out. So, so cute. Really pretty cowl. Like I said, it still needs to be blocked because I would put it on and it would just like choke me right now. But I love these colors. So pretty. I'm very happy that I got this one done because I'm going to rock this December, November. I like it also because it doesn't necessarily have to be at Christmas. This is something that you can wear basically all year. Like some of those colors are really springy, summery, but for me, I want it to be a Christmas cowl, and I'm so pleased with it. So pleased. So happy. Oh, okay. So that is everything for January. Now, I'm not going to dive too much into February, just share a few things. Like I said, I'm trying to be slightly less structured this month and not expect too much of myself. So I really just have one project that I for sure want to finish this month. And then one that I want to finish by the end of April. So I'm giving myself plenty of time to start it and finish it. First up is these two gorgeous skeins. I picked this up. God, it might have been 2 years ago. Hopefully it was just last year, but I cannot remember. These are from Yarnaceous Fibers. You saw me open up one of her advents. She was the one that did the frosted florals. So this is from, actually, this is from her Christmas collection from before. This is called Frosted Cranberries. I love the tonal on this, the different pinks in it, so pretty. And then this one is called Glistening. Very, very gorgeous. Both of these are fingering weight, 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 437 yards, 100 gram. And they are going to be made into a really pretty Valentine's Day cowl. Here, this is by Expression Fiber Arts. The designer herself is Janica, I might be wrong, Janica York Carter. And this is called Woods Landing Cowl. You can find it on the Expression Fiber Arts website. And I loved how, like, I think this will be really pretty with these two colors. and the color work and the play on it. I think it makes it unique and just so pretty. So these two, again, I thought those would be a really pretty contrast. This kind of very gorgeous gray and this, I love frosted cranberries because that is a great name for it. It's a very beautiful pink. I love that one. Next up is a yarn that I have been purchasing for 2 years, and all in the hopes of making this beauty. I was so determined. I wanted a beautiful kind of fade, but multiple colors. This is the Malloy Cardi by Megan Makes Do. I just think it's really pretty. It looks super fun, and Megan herself is just, I just love her patterns and I love her personality. I think she's fantastic. So these are the colors, and I'll turn it so you can see it on the desk as well, kind of laid out. These are the colors I am planning on doing now. This is like grabbed over like 2 years, so not all at once. However, yes, this is going to be a very bougie priced sweater, but I am so excited for this. So let me turn and show you the order of the fade that I am going for. I think this was the order. I'm pretty sure this was the order. So some of this I've gotten at local yarn stores. Some of this I have bought from dyers during their collections because I thought it was super pretty. And then some I got at our local fiber festival, which is coming up in April, which is why I want to get a head start on this to be finished by April, because I want to wear this and be cool. I think those are changed. So we have this. This is from Sorella Yarns. This was on her Oopsie collection. So it's just this really pretty purple. And then this is from the Backcountry Knitter. I have a couple skeins of this. This is called Desert Rainbow. And I just love the shades in that. I think it's so pretty. And those two actually work well together. Treehouse Knits. This was from her Stranger Things collection. This is this is 1001. So if you've watched the series, you know who that's in relation to, and it fits. But I got this and realized, you know what? Those actually match pretty well. So I loved how that worked. And then while I was at another local store, I saw, again, Yarnaceous Fibers. She's a local person, and I just love her stuff. This is Cloverleaf Formation and Azurite. These two were actually together. Sorry if you can see like the dog hair in them. As much as I try to keep things away from the dogs, they just, the hair happens. But this is such a pretty purple and teal, and this one was right next to it, and I just think it's fabulous. And these two blend really well together, so I thought that was a great natural fade. This is meant to go with this one, so you have those two that go. And then the sixth one, because it's 6 skeins, I could not figure out for the life of me. I had this really pretty pale pink, but against my skin, I was so washed out. Like, it looked horrible on me. And so my goal last year at the festival, because I had bought some of these at the festival, like I bought some at the festival, some not, and then changed others out throughout the year. My goal last year was to find something that either went above this and was okay with my skin tone, which I kind of figured was the lost cause, or a deeper teal to go underneath here, something to kind of go in here. And then another local gal who, oh my gosh, if you have not checked out her yarn, like, please, she has a way with color. Dragon Horde yarn is fabulous. This is called Moonlight Promises. Really pretty. Hopefully that's catching up. Different shades of blue, but it has that darkness in it. And if you put them next together, you can see, oh my gosh, there's so much dog hair. I'm so sorry. You can see how much it works well together. But then there's this darkness. So that would be the perfect bottom layer, and she was one of the first booths I went to, and I was like, done. Again, I got this last April, this finishing one. I have not worked on it at all, but my goal is to be able to wear it this year to the festival, and fingers crossed. Now, as for the rest of the month, those are my two main projects. Again, the cardigan is just to get started, but the cowl I would like to get finished before Valentine's Day, so I really need to make that my focus for the first little bit. But again, I find that having multiple projects is the best thing for me because, as you saw with the projects I jumped all around to this month, my brain can't just focus on one thing. It struggles. And okay, so why am I making this basically vlog about, you know, what I've finished, what I'm hoping to finish in February? Honestly, it just holds me accountable. This has been a fantastic way to keep me on track, knowing that I kind of have to report on what I'm doing. Okay, have to report. No, I am making it a goal to report on what I finished. I feel so much more likely to stick to projects and to actually do them. Maybe that wasn't super evident by all the new projects I started, but truthfully, it does make me feel more focused. Other than these projects for February, definitely just finishing up some of the whips. And I had plans for a washcloth to put a pattern out for in January or in February for before Valentine's Day. However, I realized that's really going to need a chart to do. And as much as you can do it by, like, you know, just me doing a video tutorial, I think I would prefer to actually have it written down. I actually do have a website. I have not done anything with it. So I am I am paying for a website that literally has nothing to it. So I think that's going to be one of my goals. Maybe not this month, but for sure soon, to be able to get that website up. And that way I have like actually a place to like write things down. Because I am a bit of both. I love having a written pattern, but having like a video tutorial or something just to kind of see to make sure that I'm doing things right is so helpful to me. And I want to make sure that I'm able to do that for you guys. So that's in the works. It's there. Nothing's done with it except like my name is on it, and that's about it. So anyway, thanks for joining me on this little deep dive into the madness that was January projects and what will be February projects. So remember that beautiful cardigan, that beautiful sweater by TLYC Yarns. Okay, let's try that again. So remember that beautiful sweater by Tony from TLYC. So remember that beautiful sweater from Tony from TLYC. Why am I struggling with this? So remember that beautiful sweater pattern, the maple sweater from Tony from TLYC Yarn Crafts? Because the YC is really part of the Yarn Crafts. Remember that pretty... Oh my gosh. Remember that beautiful sweater from Tony from TLYC.com? Tony Lipsy Yarn Crafts? I was struggling today.